All right, welcome back to the Gridiron Report. Time to make our picks for the upcoming week, Dre. Let's start off in Class 7A. Interesting battle here because I didn't expect Miami Springs to be this good. They're taking on American.
Yeah, Daryl Bethune's done a good job. I mean, they're not far removed from an 0-10 season. That wasn't just 0-10; it was historically bad at Miami Springs. So for them to be 5-1 right now and in striking distance of not only a district title but maybe just getting a playoff spot, which they haven't done in ages over there, is a tremendous credit to what they've been able to accomplish. In this game, though, you're asking me for a pick. I still have to stick with American because they were my preseason favorite to win that district, and I think that's for a reason. They have a lot of talent over there. Corey Bell's done a great job with that team to try and elevate them from just a playoff team to a real contender. It'll be close because Springs is better, but I'm sticking with the Patriots in this game. I still think Springs can make the playoffs down the road, though.
That's a Thursday night showdown at Traz. All right, how about this one? Miami Central taking on Northwestern. This used to be the game of the year every single year. This is Friday night down at Traz. Can the Bulls make a statement here? They almost made one last week.
Well, I'll say it's not as grim as it was a week ago because a week ago we were thinking 2 weeks in a row of pain for Northwestern, but I think they'll hang in there for a little bit. The difference in this game, though, and why it might not be as close as the Booker T game is just Northwestern put a lot of pressure on Treon Harris and Booker T. Booker T likes to throw the ball a lot more. But you look closely, and Fernandez Larry had almost 150 yards in this game.
Yeah, good point.
What are Dalvin Cook and Joe Yearby going to do if they can run the football and get loose and get 100 apiece themselves and maybe a couple of touchdowns each? But Northwestern, they found something there. If they can ride that momentum in the next couple of weeks, they'll still have a shot at the playoffs, but I'm going with the Rockets.
All right, I have an agreement so far with your first two picks. How about this one, Deerfield versus Monarch? We've heard Monarch making a lot of noise all year. This is their opportunity. They're getting an undefeated Deerfield team Friday night at Coconut Creek. Dre, who do you like and why?
Yeah, Monarch has had a good year. Michael Harris has had a tremendous year, the quarterback over there. Calvin Ridley went over there, used to be a Chaminade. He's having a tremendous year. And Monarch, I think, will make the playoffs, but I saw Deerfield Beach, and they have a special player, Brandon Powell. That team is athletic. I mean, the game I saw, Aaron McNeil wasn't in it, but it showed his value because they struggled in that first half against Coral Springs. And I just, I'm sticking with the Bucks. They were my preseason favorite to win. I think they're going to at least get a little further in the playoffs than they did the last couple times they've been in it. And I think they'll win this game. But Monarch will be fine eventually.
All right. How about Carroll City taking on Homestead? Carroll City can pretty much lock up a playoff spot here, right? If they win this game Friday night down at Harris.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in our previous segment, Erman Lane, I think his presence alone, not being there, could hurt a little bit. Even though Homestead does have other quality receivers, Gilbert Johnson, Keyshawn Taylor, a good quarterback, and Maurice Alexander. Occasionally they were able to run the football, Wade Collier, but I just think Carroll City's defense can buckle down. Not having to worry about Lane, not having to maybe even draw more attention to him, will allow them to key on those guys a little bit better. And if Trayon Gray has another big game, they already had the experience of going down to Harris earlier in the season against South Dade. So I think if Carroll City's going to make the playoffs this year, this is where they get a lot closer, maybe lock it up.
All right, big district game here. Dillard and Hallandale. Hallandale, of course, undefeated, still among the few undefeated teams left. Dillard supposed to be the preseason favorite to win this district, but not anymore. They're going in as the underdog.
Yeah, big win though. They fell behind against Boynton Beach. A lot of people thought Boynton Beach would win that game, and they said no. They came back and they were able to secure that win, which will probably get them to the playoffs. But this Hallandale team, you look at them, they've been putting up points galore the whole season. Their defense has been improving steadily. One thing I don't like about is that they have to start off a little quicker. They've gotten into these dogfights with teams they should dominate early on. They seem like they don't get their momentum going until about the second quarter. If they can avoid that this week, I think Hallandale will be fine. I'm going with the Chargers.
I'm in agreement there. Flanagan at Miramar. Let's talk about this team right here, Dre. We just interviewed Coach Cogdell a little while ago. He likes the way his team's playing right now. I don't know. I love Flanagan's offense. I think their quarterback, Ryan Stanley, does a great job. But this defense here at Miramar, they don't let anybody score.
I do too. And since I saw Flanagan the first day of practice, I thought they were much improved. And I just thought it was a mental thing with them of getting over the hump of beating a Cypress Bay or trying to beat a Miramar. And they've accomplished half of that so far. And the half that I think was within their grasp. But as good as they are, I think this week it's all about defense here. I think the Miramar offense, we've talked about a lot, how much improved they are, but when it comes down to it, the defense will make the difference down the stretch if they can win the Class 8A title, and I think they show it this week against the good Flanagan offense.
All right, here's a big game Saturday night. Cardinal, Gibbons-Jackson. This, Jackson team has taken a few big punches the last couple weeks. but they can still deliver one themselves and win a big game against Cardinal Gibbons Saturday night at Trask.
Look, Gibbons is very improved. Their offense is fantastic this year. They've made a lot of strides. But the only thing I question is I looked up the opponent's combined record this week, 7-31. I think this is the first test as the best team by far that they've seen so far this year. And Jackson really had a chance to win these last 2 games. They just made a lot of mistakes. If they can avoid that somehow, I know they've had some turmoil over there, but if they could put it all together, I have to give Jackson the benefit of the doubt. I just can't see their season falling apart in 3 weeks straight the way it has.
I'm in agreement with you, and that's going to be tough because Cardinal Gibbons is unbeaten, and like you said, yeah, they haven't played anybody, but they've been playing well. All right, final game, Hialeah versus North Miami, Saturday at North Miami Stadium. Pioneers just lost their first game this past week. Coach Berman and Hialeah, they've been doing a pretty good job quietly over there.
They have, but they had a setback this week. They went out to South Fort Myers and got beat pretty bad. And I mean, North Miami, first loss, but against a good team in Coral Reef. The Pioneers are hungry, and I know if you look at both these teams on paper, I'd have to give the edge to Hialeah, but just like I told you last week, I was going to roll the dice and go with South Dade. Turned out I was right about that one. I'm going to do the same thing with North Miami. I picked them last week. I know they got beat. But I just think after all these years, since '99, they haven't been to the playoffs. This is their chance.
I think Hialeah is going to beat them. This is where the one game you and I disagree. I think Coach Berman, his kids are going to rebound this week. And North Miami, they've played 2 good teams. I know they only lost by a point, but this is the week they lose again. And this is where they start to realize, hey, if we really want to make the playoffs, we got to earn it.
Well, that district's always been up for a tiebreaker or 4 teams playing at once on the same night trying to figure it all out. So why not? That would cause it. That would throw a wrench into it and leave NMB right in the thick of it.
All right, that wraps it up for this week. For Andre, I'm Manny Navarro. We'll see you next week.